Hello, everyone. It is Davina and Trahvae once again. We are back today talking about meditation and the way that we use meditation in our personal practices. So, Trahvae, you want to jump off and just kind of share a little bit about why you even want to talk about meditation?
I think that meditation is so over and under talked about right now. Either they're all the new wave, new age, oh, you got to meditate people that are, on every social media platform you pop on telling you what you need to do about meditating. Or there is the, of course, traditional thought of, oh, meditate, like I'm supposed to do that, it's probably be good for me. And I think as with anything else, with breath work, with exercise, with all of the modalities that are keys to better managing our experience in these physical forms, if a conversation can be had about them, it allows space to be friendlier toward accessing the powers that are behind those things.
Absolutely. I had a conversation with Sean J. Moore the other day about meditation. And it was interesting because he shared that he was introduced to meditation in high school. And when I think about myself in high school, no, never did I ever even know what meditation was or see that. I think if anything, I equated meditation to maybe Bruce Lee or, something like that, that I had seen on TV and didn't really have an access point to even understand what it is. And I think that's a little bit of what you're suggesting is what's the access point, right? Is it that we're getting all of this information from social media or entertainment places that are saying like, you need meditation, how's your meditation practice? And then it's like, well, how do you even know what to choose from that? So.
It's interesting living in Hawaii because meditation is part of the culture. So meditation is taught to lots of kids when they're young. Kids start to hear about meditating. They're taught how to meditate. They're familiar with meditation. And not in every school, but in the programs that I work with, they are. And it's really awesome to watch little people start to access themselves in a different way with that tool. And it makes me think a lot about like, if we continue to talk about this to younger groups of people, what changes can be made and accessible to kids and adults, if that sort of is the norm, making meditation normal is a really cool thing.
Yeah, what's funny? So I did teacher training, I want to say it was in 2010 is when I finished my teacher training. And I was a school teacher at the time. I taught 8th grade math, and I would have my students line up outside of the room, and they were not allowed to come in until they were silent. And the first minute of class was silent. Now, I got a lot of pushback from the teachers in the hallways. They're like, let them in the classroom already. And then also administrators, when they would come into my classroom and, they're doing an observation, they're like, what are the kids doing? You're wasting time. And really that, moment of silence at the beginning of class was a way for students to let go of whatever was happening before and become present to what was now in that particular moment. And I think it's really necessary and it's important, not just for kids, but adults to do that. Like in Tai Chi, they say it's like there's this movement that you do to close out the previous exercise or movement cycle that you did so that you can move forward. It's like the period. And I think of meditation as somewhat of a moment for us to just pause. Maybe it's a comma and not a period, But what if we did use it almost like a period? Like, okay, all of those things happened before. That is what was occurring. And now I begin anew. I don't know. What you think?
I love it. It's interesting you use that analogy. I have something I'm moving through right now personally. I got
Mhm.
real deep into my head about it this summer to the point that for the last couple of weeks, I feel as though this is very much oversharing, but whatever. I feel as though it's been such a cloud that I've been moving through that it's kept me from feeling as though I have the power to move at all. It's almost like I have felt frozen. And last week, I thought, okay, you got keys. How can we use them? Like, you got to think different. I'm like, no, I have to not think. What do I need to meditate? Double down on the meditation. And in the sitting down is such a hard pause for me. And that's exactly what I needed was to just pause. And after a couple of days, it's still challenging, you know.
Mhm.
And I meditate regularly, but there's meditation. I think it's awesome that there's so many different ways of meditating
Yeah.
that give you access to so many different keys to unlocking space in a new way. Now, a few days into doing some real heavy meditation, I realize how compact my energies have been, worrying about what's going on. And I also have had access to say, that's where we were before with that. Pause. We're here now with this. And it's only because I could sit in stillness.
Mhm. Yeah. Whew. You know what's funny? I try to be serious about it, but the truth is, a few years ago, actually, it's maybe about 5 years now, my teacher went on a Vipassana retreat, which is the silent retreat. And I joked because normally they're 10 days, but they have an executive program that's only 3 days. And I joked because I was like, there's no way you're going for 10 days, not with all them thoughts. And it's, I said it's interesting because, and funny too, because people really think that, it's so simple to, overthink. And then when you realize, when you are steady and you're still, wow, the amount of thoughts that you have, it's overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. And I think that I've chose not to. I had the opportunity to do a couple of silent retreats. I've chosen not to because I don't think it's good for my health. I'm like, mm-mm, no, thank you.
I'm curious to do one. My friend did one last year, right before Christmas, for just a weekend. It's like
Yeah.
it's up in the mountains, right by my house. Maybe Friday evening, all day Saturday, and then you close out Sunday. And she said it was a really good time. I think that I would love to do one just maybe like that little cocktail hour. Then now let's not talk no more till Sunday morning and let's have brunch, you know. And I'm sure somebody is out here doing one like that
Right.
because there are all the ways to do the things, and I'm not going to judge it. Maybe I need to do that. That sounds good.
And that's a part of the practice, is meeting people where they are. And when I say the practice, I mean the practice of being a human being. In anything that
Yes.
you do, it's just meeting people where they are. And I think with meditation, I first heard about meditation, or heard the word meditation more so from a biblical perspective, meditating on the word. And I didn't know what that meant for a long time. And I actually probably, if I'm being honest, I didn't know what it meant until I understood what meditation meant in the yogic terms. And the main difference for me was that, in yoga, there's this let go and, slow the thoughts, maybe even empty the mind or whatever. And when I think about meditating on a word, right? For me, that looks like tapping into Holy Spirit and saying, what does this mean? Lord, or Holy Spirit, show me what this means. How does this apply to my life? And really being silent and still to just receive whatever is going to come to me. And what I mean by that is I'm not sitting cross-legged when I'm meditating on the word. I might be laid out, just relaxing, or going for a walk. It's not necessarily, the seated posture. And I think for me, meditating on the word has been incredibly helpful in allowing me to be with my thoughts. Because then I can really connect and be like, is that you? Or is that you, Lord? Like,
I'm done.
like which one is it? And I have so much self-awareness. I know people don't think that I do, but I do. I have so much self-awareness, and there's always a little voice in here that is like, cuss him out, say the thing. And then the other side is like, don't do that.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. I dropped my AirPods outside the classroom.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Got him back.
got them back. That's not
Yeah.
listening.
Right. But yeah, the inside voice is like definitely, it's always going. And yeah, I'm like the self-awareness piece is there. I'm always watching from the outside. That's it's there. And I think I cultivated that through the practice of meditating.
Mhm. That's cool. I will actually today when I sat down to meditate, at one point during it, I was like, yo, wow. Like you just have thought like 20 things in like the last few thoughts. It was like, oh, I gotta do this when I get home. I gotta stop and do that. I gotta put air in the tire. Oh, what are you gonna rename that? Well, you choose to teach this class. And we're like, wow, so much going on. And then to know that even that arching voice, that manager part that's saying, oh, it's so many voices. That's even like
A
a
thought.
voice going on. Like, yo, it's so much sometimes.
Mhm.
I think that my meditative practices really took off when I stopped feeling like I grew up in a very religious house. So, like you, religion and meditating were focused on the word, the Bible, God, etc. But not for me, there was like, but no other stuff. So once I became an adult and had my own experiences with meditating, I thought it was just like sitting still and not doing anything. Moving from that now into it's all the things. It's walking, being quiet. Sometimes it's the getting lost when I'm doing the cooking. It could be any of the things that you do where you just lose yourself. That's where I feel like my meditation practices really took off. Right now I've been doing a lot of guided meditations. Those are awesome. I love to
Mhm.
lead those. I like to do those. I think just to be able to listen and imagine and go into this sort of ethereal realm is the best. I really hope that after listening to this, someone sits down, Google's meditation, and does a little self-exploration into all the different ways to meditate, because there's space out there for anyone that wants to meditate in numerous ways.
Absolutely. I have a little cheat sheet on the different types, not all of them, but several different types of meditation. I will put the link in the comments for this so that people can have a starting point, because there are several different types of meditation pathways. And I think you've got to find what works for you, because I can tell you now that when I first started meditating, I was not okay with guided meditations. I was like, if they don't stop talking like that, I know it's supposed to be peaceful, but that's not their real voice and it's triggering me. No lie. I was like that for a long time. And then I started moving more so into, like, I can listen to water sounds or nature
Mm,
sounds, and that feels way more accessible to sit for long periods of time versus a guided meditation. It's, if the voice is not correct for me, I cannot do it.
I love the gong meditations where you listen to the gong noise to it. Oh man, those are like phew, to lay on the floor and like have a nice fuzzy blanket and a pillow and do one of those meditations.
Yeah,
That's cherry.
I love it. Well, I think that's all I want to share today about meditation. Are there any other thoughts that you want to share with us?
No, I think I'm gonna like honor the space with the whole thoughts about meditation and take a pause. Say no. Thank you for hosting today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. For those of you who are new to our community, you can hit the like, subscribe button at the top of the page. You can also comment and let us know your experience with meditating, or if you have any questions about meditation. We do not have all the answers. So
Nope.
just know that if there's some things that we are unclear about, we will absolutely share resources. And if you don't already follow us now on social media, you can catch us on Instagram, Melanin Moves Project. We're the same on Facebook, and it's also our website, melaninmovesproject.org. And we would love to be in community with you. Peace and blessings, everyone.
Aloha.